Texas, starring Beverly McKenzie.
Oh, the biscuits.
I'll check.
Kate Marshall speaking.
Mrs. Marshall, this is Rena Cook.
Oh, Rena, good morning to you.
Stryker wants to buy me a horse, Mrs. Marshall, and I told him I want the best. I want a Marshall horse.
Well, we've got some fillies, just the right age.
Well, we'd like to drive out and take a look. Would today be as good a time as any?
As good as any other. You and Stryker are always welcome, you know that.
Thank you, Mrs. Marshall.
I'll look forward to it. Come when you can, child.
See you soon. Bye, Mrs. Marshall.
Wasn't that Rena Cook?
It was. She and Stryker are coming out today to look at some horses.
Oh, good.
Well, there, Justin Marshall, where do you think you're going? You haven't had your eggs.
Oh, never mind, Grandma. After living in Europe for 10 years, I'm used to a continental breakfast. I've got some work to finish in the stable. When Rena gets here, tell her I'm there, will you?
Whoopee! You better get used to having your sweet little girl child around, Mommy dears, because it's a whole new ball game. I think I struck you out at last. Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day.
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
Well, it is. Everything is perfect.
It is it? Mm-hmm. Ah, I'm still half asleep.
Well, I'm so awake.
Yes, I can see. Tell me then, what's so perfect?
Well, for one thing, Kevin has gone to the hospital to make arrangements for accepting that new position Stryker wants to fund for him. And, yes, Daddy's on his way over. We're going out to the Marshall Ranch to pick me out a riding horse.
Well, it sounds like your talk with Vicky forced her to change her mind.
Oh, yes, indeed it did. It was so lovely.
What did your private detective turn up anyway? What weapon did he give you to use?
A weapon?
It must have been something terrible.
Iris, honey, you don't want to know.
No, I suppose I don't. I don't even know why I asked.
Hear no evil.
Mm-hmm. Speak no evil. I guess you know I don't approve. I think you're doing the wrong thing. You're going to wind up hurting yourself more than your mother.
Not a chance. As a matter of fact, oh, that's Stryker now. Iris, I know you don't approve, but you also don't know what my mother's been up to. And if you did, Listen, why don't you come out to the ranch with us? We can walk and talk and maybe you should know.
I'm going to see Alex today.
Alex? Wheeler?
Well, what other Alex do I know? I'm going to see him after I've talked to Dennis. For days I've been trying to reach Dennis, but he's been so busy I haven't had a chance to tell him that I'm planning to stay in Houston.
Iris.
Yes?
Nothing. I better let Dad think.
Mrs. Bellman, please.
Hello.
Why, Vicky?
Kevin,
will you tell me, please, why you agreed to let Rena stay in Houston?
Well, $17,000 for the set, if you say so. The Tracy Ware pottery?
A minimum of 200 an item, 5,000 for the set.
Oh, we couldn't take less than $7,500 for the set. No way, Mr. Sidney. We'll smash them before we sell them any cheaper. Excuse me a minute. I'm on.
It's all right, darling. Go on with your work. I'll just, browse.
Okay, let's see. Where were we? The Tracy Ware pottery, right?
Mrs. Carrington, it's nice to see you.
Hello, Dawn.
Could I get you some coffee?
Yes, thank you.
How would you like it?
Cream?
Okay.
Well, that takes care of the inventory, I think. I'll have to check the catalog and get back to you on that. That's right, I'm handling billing and deliveries. You just get the prices. Dawn tells me you're the best auctioneer in town. That's right, I'm the manager of Western Art. Let me spell it for you. That's an A, not an O. C-A-R-R-I-N-G-T-O-N. Right.
Madame, j'ai le grand plaisir de vous annoncer que les analyses sont positives. Bientôt, vous serez maman. Mes félicitations.
Alors, donc, mon mari va vouloir entendre la bonne nouvelle. Est-ce que je pourrais le téléphoner?
Je vous en prie. Ça, c'est une affaire privée. À bientôt. Hein?
Merci bien, docteur. Je veux aller à Paris. Le thermomètre. Monsieur Elliot Carrington. Elliot Carrington. Elliot, darling. It's Iris. No, I'm in Saint-Tropez, and I'm lonesome, Elliot. I haven't seen you in such a long time. Could you? This weekend? Oh, that's lovely. Yes, I've missed you too. Terribly.
You dreaming, Mom?
Oh, I didn't have a very restful sleep.
Well, what is it? What's wrong?
Nothing at all. Too many nights in a strange bed.
Well, that's what surprised me so much when you called me this morning. I thought you'd given up the strange bed and flown back to Bay City. What delayed your departure? Something wrong, Mom?
No, just a change of plans. I've been wanting to talk to you about it, but you've been so terribly busy.
Well, we've had a lot of work to do. Don and I have been inventorying, well, the Marshall House, and we've had to have these catalogs made and sent out. It's an auction this size. Oh, hi, Don. I was just telling Mom how much work this auction is.
Funny, your life can seem so full, so crowded almost with things. But when you list it all in print, it doesn't take up much space at all, does it? Just a thin brochure anybody could read in 15 minutes.
Dawn, I'm so sorry you have to go through this whole process.
Well, I'm getting a lot of help. But thank you, Mrs. Carrington.
Darling, I'm sorry if it's inconvenient, but I really do need to talk to you for a few minutes.
Well, sure, Mom.
I think I'll fix myself some coffee. Excuse me.
That was really very rude, Mom. Well, you have my undivided attention. Now, what is it?
Now you're being rude, Dennis.
Sorry.
I wanted you to know, I think I'll be staying in Houston permanently. Well, what do you think? Aren't you pleased?
Well, what, are you doing this because of me?
Yes, but only partially.
And what's the other part?
I told you I had an old friend here. Someone from the very distant past.
I sure hope you're not talking about Alex Wheeler. Is he why you're staying in town?
Well, why do you say his name like that, as though it was some kind of dirty word?
It is. With the Marshall family.
Why?
They blame Alex Wheeler for Mike's death.
Oh, come now, it was a suicide.
He caused Mike's financial ruin.
That was caused by the revolution in Tankir. You are taking the over-emotional reaction of a young girl.
What do you think I've been doing for the last week? I have eyes. This auction wouldn't even be necessary if Wheeler hadn't called Mike's debts into him after Marshall Oil was nationalized. He forced Mike into bankruptcy.
Dennis, I can't
Look,
believe
you better believe it. And I don't care if he is a friend from your past. I sure don't want you getting involved with that man. You're not involved with him, are you?
And why would that be so terrible?
Because he wrecked Dawn's life. Her whole family's life. And I hate him for that.
You hate Alex? You don't know.
I know everything I want to know. And if you're staying in Houston, it means you're going to be getting involved with that man. Then no. I'm not pleased with the idea at all.
I have to think more about this.
Forgive my mother. I know she didn't mean to hurt you. I don't think she even considered what sending you away would do, how it would make you feel. But I will never put up with my mother deliberately hurting you. Never.
Vicky? You didn't have to rearrange your day, but since you're here, please sit down.
Thanks.
I'm sorry if my phone call to you seemed to blame you.
I am to blame, Kevin. It's my fault that Rena gets to stay in Houston. I agreed to it. I agreed for the same reason you agreed to continue in your marriage.
Oh, I see. For Stryker's sake, is that what you mean?
Yes. I want him to have a little peace of mind in his last days. I owe him that, Kevin.
Well, Vicky, I know Stryker likes to have Rena nearby,
No,
but you
it's more complicated than that. It's hard to admit this, even to you. What Rena is actually capable of.
I mean, capable of.
She's blackmailing me, Kevin. She's threatened to tell Stryker about Alex and what he's meant to me.
She's blackmailing her own mother?
She's even hired a private detective. Had me followed, photographed. You know, when I look back on it, it's surprising that I hadn't expected something like this from her before this.
Photographed. You said it was all over between you and Alex. Alex is in love with Iris.
He is.
Well?
And that's the stupidity of this whole sordid mess. I went to see him about Iris. But my old habits on film, well, I used my personal key to his private elevator. We met in his suite, and he kissed me before I left. And those pictures would make it very clear to Stryker. I mean, I could tell him the affair is over, but even knowing that there had been an affair, it would devastate him, and I couldn't let her do that to him.
And she would have, you're right. But blackmail.
I know. Made me sick, too. I even tried to tell Stryker about it myself, but I couldn't. Well, how could I? Especially after what Bart told me about his last checkup.
Yes. That's what tipped the scale for me, too. Vicky? Allies?
Victims. Maybe we could form a mutual defense treaty against any more demands from our darling Rena.
Whatever it takes, huh?
Thanks, Kevin. I do need your support. Oh, hello, Courtney, dear. Kevin and I were just having a little family conference.
Come in, Courtney.
Well, Kevin, I've got to get back to work, but thanks so much for our talk.
Thank you, Vicky. Courtney.
I spoke with Dr. Sloan.
Mm-hmm.
He said you agreed to head the postdoc training program. I was so glad to hear that you finally decided to stay in Houston. I came to apply for a trainee position, but...
Well, of course, you have got that. But what?
But you know what I really want.
Courtney, you've got to
I
understand
want you. I want you. But it doesn't matter. I'm not alone, am I? So do all the other women in your life.
No, Courtney, you've got it all wrong. You don't understand what you think you saw. Vicky is having a very difficult time with Rena. Stryker is very ill.
Before it was Kevin, before it was Rena who needed your help. Now it's her mother who needs your help. And you respond to both of them.
Courtney.
Everybody's needs except mine. Look at me, Kevin. I need you. I need you, Kevin.
Courtney, you are part of the reason I'm staying. Part of the reason I accepted this program, this training program. We can work together, see each other. But I'm afraid that's all it can be.
I thought this was going to be an ordinary day. It's fine to see you, Stryker.
I should have come by sooner, but you know what happened.
Oh, yes, I do. We've been working hard, too, haven't we, Jenny?
Busier than ever, it seems.
How are you two managing now?
Well, the work helps. But it's mighty hard getting used to the idea that Mike's home to stay.
I know, honey.
I understand that you two came out here to buy a horse today.
Oh, I can't wait to get back in the saddle. Riding that show the other day was a real tonic for me.
I'm so happy to hear that. You know, it's kind of sad to part with some of the horses, but we have to think of this place as a real business now. Selling stock is about the only way we're going to keep the Marshall Ranch above water.
Well, I never doubted the marshals would find a way of keeping the ranch going.
Well, we've survived the Mexicans and the Indians and the bank. So far.
Rita, would you like some coffee, or you want me to show you the horses right now?
Sooner the better. But I was kind of hoping that Justin could show them to me.
Well, Justin's down at the stable. He said for you to come on down there when you got here.
I know where it is. Daddy, come take a look.
Pass, baby. That drive out here just wore me out. But you know, if Kate will sit down with me for a little while, I'd just soon have a cup of coffee and visit.
I'd like nothing better.
You go on then. Pick out whatever you like. Just don't go stunting on your first mount here.
Oh.
Thank you, honey.
You look like you're carrying a weight, Stryker. Care to set it down?
What's happened to my poker face? Yes, you're right, though. Ryan Connor told me that he came by here and was talking to you two ladies about the offer on the River Oaks house.
Did he tell you that offer came from Alex Wheeler's office?
You knew that, Kate?
Yes. And I'd be willing to sell. But Justin...
Yeah, I don't think Justin be too likely to see it that way.
Not likely at all. And I think Ginny agrees with us on that. That's why we haven't made up our mind.
Well, you know, the money from that house would go a long ways toward helping out.
But first, we've got to figure out some way to convince Justin and the others that it's worth it. That it's not just more humiliation.
Hey! No, I don't want you getting too comfortable sitting behind that desk. Come on.
No, I was just practicing.
So, how are you liking your new job with Stryker Veltman? Making any progress getting that house for me?
Well, I made an offer, and it was a good one. Well over the assessed value. I discussed it mainly with Ginny Marshall.
Nice girl, Ginny. Mm-hmm. What did she think?
Well, she thought financially it couldn't be better.
But?
But what you were afraid of. She didn't think Mike's children would sell that house to you, even if you offered a hand and an eye with the deal. She felt that Justin and Dawn were especially bitter.
They blame me for Mike's death. I know.
Pretty much. Even though it doesn't make sense.
I hope they don't all feel that way.
No, I don't think so. Ginny and Mrs. Marshall, anyway. They seem pretty reasonable.
Okay.
Ginny didn't say what her husband thought.
Barrett?
Mm-hmm.
Then, she didn't tell you.
Tell me what?
I guess she didn't want to think it. He was killed, at least presumed killed anyway. Southeast Asia. Plane went down, and the jungle swallowed up the wreck.
You mean she's a widow?
Well, I couldn't tell you if he was ever legally declared dead, but that's a moot point. He's Been listed as missing in action years now. It just about broke Mike's heart. I'd say she was a widow, yes. Yeah. That seems to please you.
I guess it shouldn't, but yes, it does. Alex, do you remember, I told you I had a second reason for staying here, you know, besides investigating the Sheik's death? Well, Ginny was that second reason. I saw her out at the horse show that Stryker took me to, and yesterday I finally got to meet her out at the ranch. But I thought from the...
Well, then, you won't mind pressing for a deal on the house for me, then, huh? Give you a chance to get better acquainted.
I'll certainly do my best. Well, better get back to my own office.
Okay. Keep working on it, Ryan.
I will.
Yes? Iris? Of course. I've been expecting you. Oh, I'm never that busy. Why do you say that? All right. Yes. Now. Come right over, darling.
I almost postponed our meeting because, well, there are just more complications than I let myself believe there would be.
We can handle a few complications. Anything, as long as you're here with me.
No, that's what I mean.
All right, tell me.
My plans to move to Houston, I'll have to delay them indefinitely. I may even have to move back to Bay City for a time. There are just so many complications, Alex.
What complications? What difficulties are you talking about?
Oh, my life.
What is it in your life? Maybe I can help. I can swing a lot of influence if I have to, choose to. What's keeping us apart now that we found each other again? Hmm? Look, let me smooth it over for you. Let me take care of it.
It's a personal matter. It's my divorce.
The divorce? But what could
well,
you...
it's not final yet. Some delay. I don't know what exactly, but I'm still a married woman.
But is that what you want to be?
No. Just that I don't think we should see each other until it's final. Can you accept that? I really should go now.
No. I can't accept that.
But I
You
told
asked
you.
me if I could accept what you said. I can't. I don't want you leaving again, not because of that.
But what can you do about it? I told you how I feel.
Look, if there's trouble with Brian Bancroft about the divorce, we'll call him up and straighten it up. Now.
No, Alex, don't do that.
When I'm right, Iris, I'm right, you'll see. Terry, get me Brian Bancroft in Bay City.
Cook.
Yeah, I know.
You know?
Sure. Years ago, he used to come out here when you and Justin were, going around together.
That's been a long time.
I guess. Longer in Houston than here.
What's that supposed to mean?
Nothing. What can I do for you?
I'm buying a horse.
Yeah?
Hmm?
Well,
What you got in mind?
Oh, something big, spirited.
You got some fine little range ponies. Fast, long-winded, but they haven't got much size.
And they sound like sport cars. I want some heft. I want to ride high.
Well, I hate to sell her, but I guess you're talking about Lady Gray.
Lady Gray? That's what I want.
The hell you do. That's Cimarron. And you broke my leg last spring.
I'm a trained rider.
Oh, honey, I ain't so bad myself. He still broke my leg. When I ride him, I keep my eyes wide open. Now, he's not a riding horse. Nothing restful about him. Fine stud, but he just hates people.
Maybe only some people.
Now, I told you that's not the horse you want.
I think it is. I think that's exactly what I want.
All right, say it is. You're not going to get him, because I'm not going to sell him to you. I just can't see you getting a beautiful, flutter-brained woman killed.
You can't talk to me like that.
Lady, I can talk any damn way I want. To you or anybody else.
Oh, yeah, you think so?
I know so. Now, you want me to saddle up that mare or not? I ain't got all day. Out here, we work.
Where's Justin? I want to see him. I want to see him right now.
Well, I expect he's right where you left him, in the stable. Dayrina! You might tell Justin the name of that stallion you like so much. Just tell him you want to buy Cimarron.
I'll tell him I want you fired right now.
I wish you wouldn't do that.
Oh, I'll just bet you wish I wouldn't. Should have thought of that before you crossed me, honey.
Because I wouldn't want to see Justin die laughing. I bet she could ride you down. You mean son of a gun.
Justin! Oh, where are you?
Over here.
What?
At your service.
Just can't help crawling under those nasty, dirty death traps, can you? You just love to have grease crawling down your face, but you look ridiculous.
Good morning to you, too.
I came out here for you to show me a horse. Now, why aren't you showing me a horse instead of fooling around with those silly cars?
Did I do something to deserve this?
No, he did.
Who did?
Him, that foreman, what, I don't know what his name is.
Foreman? Must be Max Decker?
Yeah, that's the one.
He insulted you?
He grabbed me, he hurt my arm.
Good old Max. He did that?
Yes, he did. Now, I want him fired right now.
Oh, honey, fire Max. You're gonna have to talk to Kate about that.
Well, I'll just do that.
I should warn you, you're never gonna convince her to do that.
Are you gonna let him get away with it?
Well, listen, all things considered, as I was saying, I'm just gonna have to find out more about it first. You know, I think you could use a drink. Now, why don't you just come right in here and sit down and tell Uncle Justin all about it. Here.
You're not taking me seriously.
You're wrong. I'm taking you very seriously. May I? Thank you. Now, tell me.
I came out here looking for you, and I ran into him instead, out in the corral.
And he fell on you in an animal lust.
I
I am very angry, Justin. Very angry.
All right.
Now, if you don't stop taking me seriously...
Okay, all right. I'm sorry. I promise, no more jokes. What did he do to make you so angry?
He said I couldn't buy the horse I wanted. He said he wouldn't sell it to me.
Which horse?
That white stallion out there. The
Cimarron.
one they got. Yeah. Justin, you'll sell him to me, won't you?
Rena, they're not my horses to sell or not sell. They belong to Kate. She listens to Max and Ginny. She doesn't listen to me where horses are concerned. Never did. I'm sorry.
Well, what am I going to do?
If Max says no, Kate will say no. If you're in the market for a dangerous stallion, you're just going to have to go somewhere else to get him.
No, I want, honey, I want Cimarron.
Cimarron.
I want him now. Right now. I won't wait.
What can I say?
Say you'll talk to Kate about it. Honey, this is a gift from Stryker, and it's very important to me. It's kind of symbolic of my coming home again.
What?
Yeah.
You mean you're going to be staying in Houston from now on? Really?
I'm going to be here for good. What about you? You going back to Italy?
No, one day I may go back as a tourist, call some old numbers, but I'm here for the duration.
What about your cars?
They won't be lonely. I put away my toys for good, or ill. I mean, I'm just tinkering around with this old tin can because Ricky asked me to. It brings back some memories. Makes me think of the good old days. You remember when you used to follow me around the stock car circuit?
Like a puppy dog, honey. And when you won, I rewarded you with a big kiss.
I don't deserve it. I'm just, not a winner anymore.
Justin Marshall feeling sorry for himself? I don't believe it. Oh, come on, you've been spending too much time out on the farm here, boy. You got to get back to the city for a little excitement.
Yeah, that's what I think I need. I've been holed up here too long, just waiting for a time to make my move. You're right. It's approaching.
I don't think we're talking about the same game.
You know the game I mean.
You're not still out for revenge against Alex Wheeler, I hope. Oh. Anyway, what I meant is that you need to relax, party, forget about what's happened for a few weeks.
Even if I wanted to party, what would I party on? You're not looking at a wealthy man, Rena. The Marshalls are broke.
Get a job.
A job?
Most people work for a living, honey, especially if they need money.
Where would I get a job? I have no experience doing anything.
Oh, you have a lot of experience. We just have to find a way to make it work. I'll tell you what. You drive into town Monday and you come by my house.
Then what?
I'll take you to see Vicky about your new job.
Vicky?
Mm-hmm. She owes me a favor, honey. Anyway, I'd be doing her a favor by bringing you around. Yeah. She'll have a job for you at KVIK.
Me working TV?
Oh, she'll snap you right up. Now, listen, are you going to show me any horses? I am determined to go home with my own critter, even if it's a mare. Well, you going to help me? And watch the clothes, honey. Thank you.
Stay tuned for the conclusion of Texas.
Rather you didn't do this.
Yes, Terry. Good. Thank you. Mr. Bancroft, this is Alex Wheeler calling from Houston. I'm president of World Oil Transport. No, we haven't met. We have a mutual, I'm calling for Iris Carrington. She's here with me now, and
Please,
I think...
let me. Brian. No, I'm fine. Listen, this may sound like a strange request, but could you come to Houston? I need to talk to you. Oh, it's much too complicated to go into on the phone. Brian, please don't question me now. Just come. Call me at Rena's and tell me what arrangements you've been able to make. I know. I appreciate it. All right, Brian, goodbye. Really, Alex, you are impossible.
Impossible? In love. And I won't let anything or anyone come between us.
Well, you'd better start considering the idea that there may be some problems that don't have solutions.
Terry, check on Brian Bancroft's travel arrangements at Houston. Let me know when you have them. Oh, and get a hold of Jack, have him meet him at the airport and bring him here. I want to speak to him first.
Join us each weekday at this time for the continuing story of Texas.